Big news in Canada. The inflation report hit the streets and it's up. It ain't down. It's up. So what the heck does that mean? First thing it means is everybody who is predicting the Bank of Canada will cut their prime rate, the Bank of Canada rate, will be cut in April. All you April people, just sit down. Okay, you're wrong. You're all wrong. It's going to be no rate cut in April from the Bank of Canada. It could be a long time. It could be the summer. It could be July. It could be October. We could be far from a rate cut. And here's why. Inflation is not wrestled to the ground. We saw increases in several fronts, both top line and in core inflation. Look, there's going to be movement. There's going to be movement based on energy cost. There's going to be movement based on food cost. There's going to be movement based on services. There's going to be movement based on wage inflation for people who are just trying to catch up to the disaster that's been going on for the last 2 years. It's not linear. I always told people it would not be linear. There'd be bumps in the road. But here's the thing. Is the economy getting better in Canada? I don't think so. So will fixed rates continue to gradually, again, bumpy road, up and down, but gradually fall? Probably. Will there be a rate cut this year from the Bank of Canada? Yeah, probably, eventually. But it's not just, boom, everything's over. We're cutting. Those people who were advocating for rapid cuts, no, I maintain my position. The Bank of Canada will reduce their rate at some point in time this year. It's not going to happen instantly, but it will happen. And here's one of the things we have to consider constantly. Every month, thousands of people see a mortgage payment increase. It goes up, okay? Thousands of people see their rent go up. I mean, it's quiet now, but historically in the summer again, spring, summer, we'll see more rent inflation because let's face it, people get renewals, rate goes up. Landlords get renewals, rate goes up. There's pressure on landlords because, hey, in the last 20 months, 2 million people showed up, okay? I mean, there's a lot of immigration in Canada. So the lesson is that dynamic, rapid reduction in interest rates was really never in the cards in terms of the Bank of Canada. I mean, it's not all of a sudden the world's going to change and Bank of Canada is going to plunge rates down 2% within 12 months or 2% starting in April. I mean, that was never going to happen. I just didn't see it. Now, will the rate cuts come? Sure, but maybe this year it won't be as aggressive. It won't be huge. It might only be starting in July, starting in September. That might only allow for 3 rate cuts if it starts in September. Like, it's not going to be that rapid by the looks of things because inflation's not beaten. But is the economy contracting? Yeah, I think we can see things not going great. I've never met one single person, one economist, one business leader, one anybody who said, you know what? I think the economy in Canada is really coming around. It's going to be really strong this year. No, I've never heard anybody say that. I see no signs of it. I see no signs of rapid hiring of people all over the place. I see none of that happening. So we assume that the path is for lower mortgage rates, particularly, again, starting in fixed rates. We still have 5-year rates that start with a 4. Not a lot of them, not from everybody, but we got some of them. We're starting to see bond yields changing in the 2-year and 3-year category. They're going to spike a little bit after this inflation report. Sure they are, because I said 1,000 times, it's not linear. The reduction in mortgage rates is not linear, but I also said it wasn't going to be instantaneous. It wasn't going to just drop overnight. So what's the verdict? The verdict is generally bad news for Canadians because inflation is still clearly there and we feel it in our pocketbooks every single time we go to the grocery store, every single time we buy anything. We feel it. We still see these wild prices for everything in restaurants. I mean, it's still there. So not reversing, not instantaneous, but will eventually there be a rate cut in Canada? Yeah, there'll be a rate cut this year because there are no signs that the economy in Canada is going to suddenly pick up its socks, start hiring everybody all over the place, every province, and suddenly there's going to be happy days all over again. No, that's not really in the cards. So what's the thought process? Yes, fixed rates just trickle down, bumpy, up, down, still trickling down. And eventually, some point this year, we will see a cut out of the Bank of Canada. But not in April, not anytime soon.